How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And I appreciate everybody taking their time watching today's video. Imagine living in a city where your Second Amendment rights virtually don't exist. Not only is it hard to purchase a firearm, but it's even much harder to get a concealed carry permit. You would jump through all the hoops to try to get your permit, and very rarely did someone get it. And then after the Bruin decision came down, they said they'd change their ways and start issuing permits. But what they didn't tell people, it would take them forever to find out if they're actually getting a permit or not. And for the past year or so, all across the United States, especially in Democrat-run cities, the new push is about so-called ghost guns. And now the city that I've been talking about has an issue with 80% firearms and different accessories that you would add to an 80% lower to make it a complete firearm. But just having those accessories, they can't arrest you for anything because it wasn't made into a complete firearm. So what is this city asking its legislators to do? They want to make it against the law. If somebody owns 3 or more accessories, that you could then make a firearm out of it and not put together just for having 3 or more of those accessories. The thing is, so far, they haven't said what those accessories are. So could you imagine having an 80% lower that hasn't been completed, and let's say a trigger and a barrel, and let's add in a parts kit? You could be arrested in this city for having those accessories. And the city I'm talking about is Honolulu, Hawaii. And when I mentioned earlier about the concealed carry permits, the city not too long ago settled a lawsuit brought by residents because of the lengthy delays for concealed carry permits. So straight up, the Honolulu Police Department wants lawmakers to ban the possession of certain parts that you could use to put together a firearm. And this statement is coming from someone high up in the Houston Police Department. I believe he's a major. His last name is Lambert. It doesn't matter where you made it, how you made it. You shouldn't be walking around with it. And what I believe and what we believe here is that why would you be carrying gun parts around town? And my question is, who is carrying gun parts around town? Unless somebody went to the gun shop and purchased some and were bringing them home. Nobody's walking around any town that I know of with a trigger in their pocket or an adjustable stock or a barrel. It's just not happening. So you heard it right. In Honolulu, they want to arrest you just for possessing certain gun parts. Just like if they were an actual firearm, this guy Lambert also told reporters. His department is pushing for state legislation that would make the possession of 3 or more of the gun parts a misdemeanor. And also they would like a law to be passed that if a convicted felon even owns one of those parts, it would be a Class B felony. And in this guy named Lambert, and his exact words are, if you follow the law, you'll be unaffected by the change of the law. Isn't that one of the most ridiculous things you've ever heard? The thing is, that would affect every single person who builds their own firearms and has been doing so legally, and what's also been done in this country legally for hundreds of years. And so if Honolulu is really experiencing a problem with criminals building their own firearms and using them in crimes, they need to prosecute them and put them away for a long time. But what they want to do with this law is actually punish the law-abiding citizens for the action of criminals. But that's nothing new, because all across this country, and in mainly Democrat-run cities and states, that's what most of these laws do. They punish the law-abiding citizens and don't affect the criminals whatsoever. Now, unfortunately, the lawmakers in the state of Hawaii are mainly Democrats. And we know how much a Democrat loves gun control. And even though it'd be unconstitutional, they just don't care. Like I said earlier, this is absolutely ridiculous. And I hate to say it, that Hawaii is lost when it comes to your Second Amendment rights. Just like California and New York and other states. But I'd really like to hear from you guys what you think about this proposal in Honolulu. And if you enjoyed today's video, and also if you want to help the channel out and help it to continue to grow, I just ask you to take a few seconds of your time to like, share, and subscribe and hit those post notifications. I would be very grateful if you did so. And I invite all of you to come back and watch my next video.